Okay guys, for today's video I'll be showing you guys what I did to dye my interior from black to red in my BMW. If you guys want to do this, it works for all leather interiors. Just get the products and copy what I did. This is my first time ever doing it and it turned out really good. I mentioned guys is make sure you guys buy gloves because we're wearing gloves so we don't touch. First off, don't get our hands messy with the dye, but also because our hands have oils on them and we're going to be touching the seat again and rubbing our oils on it, and maybe it won't pick up the dye as well. Okay guys, so first things first, you're going to want to obviously have the interior out of the car, but then you would want to have soapy water. This is just in a sprayer bottle. So this is Dawn dish soap and some purified drinking water. Don't use tap water because tap water could have contaminants like magnesium, calcium, and sometimes chlorine, which could leave a residue on the leather, and you really don't want that because, well, you're going to be dyeing the leather, and you want the leather to absorb the dye really well. And then, obviously, to use the soapy water, you're going to want a Scrub Ninja. So this is like microfiber, and this is like a soft scrub. This works really well. You want to get all the grease and all the oil out from your seats so the leather absorbs the dye really well, and you don't ever have it like peeling off, which would hurt a lot because you guys obviously this isn't an easy job. Well, it's an easy job. It's just very time consuming. So you're gonna want one of these. I do need to order more, and like a little detail brush will work as well to get it into those threads on the seat. A brush like this will work well. It's more on the softer side, as you guys can see. And this is just like, I use this first because I like cleaning the seat and then getting it into the threads that obviously are going to be dyed as well. And I at least want them, I guess, degreased in a way. So those are the first things you need. And then what I did was I got some 91 alcohol. I diluted it down to, I'd say around like 75% here in this water bottle. And then I just got a microfiber and I dampened it, I guess, and just wiped down the seat. And then do not cheap out on this, guys. You are gonna want to pick up some Angelus leather prepare and deglazer. You can find this on Amazon. I think this ran me around like $20. It's a really small bottle comparing it to literally anything else. If you don't want to spend $20 on this, you could get away with acetone. This big bottle cost me like $10 at Walmart. And then an applicator pad to put the acetone or the leather prepare on the pad and just go around the interior, wiping it down to get better absorption, and the dye holds on really well. Also, guys, the reason I said you guys could get away with using this is because the leather prepare is acetone based and it smells a lot like acetone, obviously. So I'm guessing a good percentage of it is just purely acetone. And I did research and say you could use acetone, so save some money there. I went ahead and used both since I did obviously run out of that little bottle, and I did not want to spend an extra $20 on that. But people say you could use acetone, so go ahead. But if you want to play really safe, use the leather prepare. And then obviously the last thing you're gonna want is your dye. I believe this is called like leather auto repair or luxury leather auto repair. One thing I forgot to mention was when you order the dye, it's going to come with a sponge, and I would suggest buying these off of Amazon. What I did was I would rip them from here and then just pull up and use the sponge from the bottom, and it should budge, and now you have the sponge, and now you could dye it easier. Also, make sure, guys, you're in a location where there's snow, dust falling on your wet dye, because you don't want your interior to have bad texture after, the dye settles and you can't remove the dust anymore. And before every coat, just make sure you wipe it down. Play it safe. I'm over it, but I went with this. It came out really well, as you guys could see. And I went through like a whole bottle completed my interior for me. And then also, you guys are gonna want masking tape. So after you finish doing your whole interior and cleaning it and using the acetone or the preparer, what you're gonna want to do is mask off places you don't want dyed, like this, like black and red. So I got the two-tone, I guess. This trim is very difficult to take off, so I just ended up taping it all up best I can. So it's a two-tone, so this is gonna be black. See, it's gonna be red. So I masked all this off. And one thing that was helpful was like a trim removal tool. So I would just like pry it up a little bit and put the masking tape on there. You guys can see interior came out really good. Okay, I forgot to mention this, but you guys are gonna want a quick detailer or a leather conditioner. So this is actually after you have already dyed your interior and you let it sit for at least 24 hours, which is what I did. And then you apply either the leather conditioner or detailer, so we could get the oils back that we stripped it from, and the leather and the dye gets protected from the heat and the sun. So this is zero coats, obviously. This should be pretty straightforward. Make sure you shake it before you put it on, and then put some on your sponge. No, I just wasted some, but here you go, first coat. Okay, this is how the first coat should look like. That's how it looks like. Very light, a little bit. You can see a little bit more. It picks up better in person, obviously, than it on camera. But it's very light. And do not be afraid to put dye on it. It's better to put more dye and just, separate it around the whole thing than put a little bit of dye. And that's something I'd say I messed up on when I first did these first couple seats. So right now, I've been putting more dye. It honestly looks better than the first time I did it. And this is why I'm doing this video, to help you guys out, so you guys don't have to make the same mistakes I did. And, feel like you're messing it up. So what I did was just, you guys saw the amount I put. Start rubbing it through the leather. And then put more, and just, until you have everything filled. Obviously, some parts are going to look like they don't have anything. Do not be afraid. It's going to look like that. Maybe the second coat's going to look better. Maybe the third coat. But by the third coat, it should be, you don't want like a lot of black things that I'm going to show you guys, obviously during the process. And, if you mess up, man, this is your first time. This is my first time fully doing the interior. And it's not even really fully done because I haven't done the door cards. But you see right here, it doesn't pick up too good on camera. But like right here, I'd say I put a little bit more. But honestly, don't even be touching it like that, because as you can see, I'm going to call this wet spots for right now. But you get like this little wet spot, and I feel like it's not going to want to hold paint on later. But, just do what you can. I haven't done this, obviously. I only did the top part to show you guys. But I'd say this is a pretty solid first coat. As you can see, let me see if I could get like better. And I tried getting like hopefully you guys can see it, but it's a very light coat. It shouldn't be a lot. You shouldn't see the full color yet, just very lightly. Look how much I put on this one, and I'll show you guys maybe a little bit better. And any tears you guys have in your seat, just make sure you tape it up or repair it, I guess. Right now you see the color a lot, but when it starts drying, you won't. As you can see, like that. Compared to this, it should not look like... It'll look like this, but then it'll dry. And one thing I'm probably going to suggest, and hopefully I start doing, but don't be going over certain spots a lot, because maybe you'll get those wet spots too. Just like pass over, like brush it through, so it's even. Obviously it's not gonna be full even, but you want paint to go everywhere. You just don't want puddles either. But yeah, hopefully that helps. What I did with the first coat is I did 30 minutes. I'm honestly gonna start aiming for like an hour to maybe 2 hours per coat. If you put a heater in front of it, obviously it's gonna dry up faster, but to be safe, guys, I'm gonna probably suggest doing an hour at least per coat so it looks good. Okay, so I just applied the first coat on the bottom. This is how it's looking. That part's still drying up. Maybe I did put a little bit too much there, but you know, this is why I'm doing it before you guys. But yeah, it's looking out good. It's turning out good. I'm gonna wait maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. You know, I don't want to mess up again, so I am playing it very safe. And it's also because I am gonna need another bottle of dye. I'm gonna need another bottle because they took more dye than I was expecting. Like I said, I wasn't expecting. This is my first time ever doing it, so obviously I did mess up on them. And I have already ordered I ordered another one. It's gonna be coming in soon, so it's gonna take a couple of days. So you know things take time, so it's gonna take time anyways. So that's why I'm playing it safe with the time, an hour, 2 hours, and it's gonna turn out to be a couple of days because I am gonna finish that bottle probably today or tomorrow. If you're trying to get this done as quick as possible, obviously I'd suggest having the heater to be hitting the seat. And one thing I forgot, I'll probably pick up the video later and show you guys the process throughout. It won't be as I won't be talking as much, but just showing you maybe coat number 2, coat number 3, time and whatever. This is 3 coats after being dried. It's now morning, so it's been like over 12 hours. Obviously I went to sleep and didn't continue on it, but right now I'm gonna put on the 4th coat. Yeah, this is 4 coats so far. The bottle says you should be done in 4 coats, but clearly you guys can see that's not the right amount. I kind of drenched this area with a little bit more, and you can see that it's looking better than most parts. But yeah, it's coming along though. Maybe I need to put more paint on the top part for sure. Okay, this is the 5th coat. As you can see, I did put a lot more dye. Some parts are looking better off. Maybe they'll look better in a coat, so that'd be in 6 coats. But don't be too stingy when putting on the dye. As you can see, like this part up here is looking really good. Just let it dry. I mean, you know, like maybe a coat or 2, it should start looking properly all red. But it's looking really good, especially the bottom. Like, look at that. Okay guys, this is the finished product after 9 coats. Would you look at that? That looks perfect. If you see any more black marking on your seats, or tan if you had tan interior, just make sure you go over it again until you don't see it anymore. But after, I'm going to be installing everything back on the headrest, the trim, and I'll be installing it back into the car. But I'm going to put the conditioner on. Do not forget the conditioner. And yeah.